All right, it's a beautiful but cold morning here in northern New Mexico, or as we call it, the land of enchantment. Today's a busy day. Gonna split myself between my two hustles. Starting out the day, obviously, out here in the hills on the Bureau of Land Management's property, cutting some wood. Gonna do that for several hours, get a decent load, and then go home, unload, clean my equipment, and then shift gears and jump over to my arbitrage and reseller job. And so gonna be a busy day, and at the end of it I'll get to see the kiddos and have them for the next couple nights to come. So that's the best part of my day, but follow along as I get started with my busy day. So this pinon tree will be my first victim today. Gonna take the baseball bat and strip it down, then cut it up. So I got the first victim of the day fairly dissected, ran out of gas. My chain is not as sharp as I had hoped, and while I did sharpen it myself, it was an older chain, so cutting speed is a little slower today. And I made the huge mistake of putting my other sharp chain on another saw that is of comparable size and left it at home because I flooded it. So these are the woes of he who cuts wood. Fortunately, I have several backup saws, so I'm all right, but some days it just doesn't come together like you'd hope. So best thing you can do is just stay busy, keep cutting, stay consistent, and stay safe with your technique. All right, YouTube friends and followers, I'm here, I'm downtown, and I'm getting ready to go check out a new thrift store, one I've never been to. I did spend most of my morning cutting wood, but decided to cut that short and wanted to get out and spend more time with my hustle, arbitraging goods and looking to source other used goods to resell on eBay and other online sites to make money for profit. Excited to go check out this new thrift store here in downtown Farmington, New Mexico. We are very limited on thrift stores in the area, so kind of excited to go see what this place has to offer. And even if I don't find anything, maybe I'll make a few new friends. But the consistency of reselling is everything. So for all y'all that are getting into reselling and sourcing used goods, or even arbitraging new clearance retail goods, try to stay on your hustle. I can't stress it enough. Consistency and being out in the wild searching is every bit of where your success will come. So let's go check out this new place, see what they have to say, see if we can find some goods. All right, so this is the old classic downtown movie theater. It was open when I was a kid. It is no longer open, but lots of memories. My mom used to take us and the neighbor kids to see movies here all the time. And as I'm walking into this new thrift store, I just figured I'd run a little clip and pay homage to my mom for always showing us a good time. Love you, Mom. So I am in Farmington, New Mexico at a hidden treasure thrift store and taking a look around. The owner's been more than gracious enough to let me film and has been really sweet and kind of guiding me through a lot of her different stuff in this store. It looks like she has some really nice goods. So I'm gonna go ahead and peruse around and take a little bit of footage and show you what I find. Virginia's got some cool Stanley and thermos products. I'm a sucker for old vintage coffee gear. And I actually have this thermos right here up for sale on my eBay store. So go figure. Got some pretty cool stuff in here. So Virginia, the owner of A Hidden Treasure here in Farmington, was kind enough to show me around. She's got some really nice vintage goods. Prices look pretty good. Gonna just kind of source around, look around, try to see if I can find anything of interest to me. but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. All right, so my grandmother used to have a hand sift very similar to this, and every time I go out looking to source goods in the wild, I'm always crossing up items that my grandmother's had. And so it's always a nice little memory and reminder that they're near, even though they are gone from this earth. So, pretty cool. All right, so Virginia's got a pretty sizable room with media here at A Hidden Treasure. And I'm gonna go ahead and peek around, see if I can find some old Stephen King horror novels. Maybe a good old classic VHS movie to flip. All right, so Virginia here at A Hidden Treasure has some really great prices on her goods. A lot of cool decorative items and glassware. And I found me a set of some Fire King mugs that I'm gonna go ahead and purchase from her and give her some business. So down here at A Hidden Treasure in downtown Farmington, New Mexico, it's been a successful pick. I made a new friend with the store owner, Virginia, and I've been able to find some Fire King mugs, which were very vintage and something I should be able to resell for profit. And I love to find Fire King. So it's been a great experience today, and I will be back to spend more money here at this great store. Pick at the new thrift store here in town, and apparently it's not that new. It's been here for a handful of years. I just didn't know about it. So thank you, Virginia, and thanks for the deal. All right, so scored me this extra large Cabela's shooting shirt. These do sell well. Probably could get 25, 30 bucks out of it, plus shipping. And also scored me a pair of some Ultra women's shoes. Gonna need to clean them up, but I think I can get 50 bucks for them. They're only 5. Got a Starbucks mug score though. These are always good for at least 20 bucks. So it's been a good day today out in the wilds. I was able to go and cut firewood this morning for several hours, and then I cut that short just a little bit so I'd have time to go ahead and come into town and do some retail arbitrage, but also to source used goods to sell for profit. I was able to go to a new thrift store today, made a new friend. She was super cool, and I was also able to score several of my favorite bolos, which are Fire King mugs. And I was able to also find another Fire King mug at a thrift store I go into all the time, but just grateful to meet new friends and find a new place to go pick goods. The prices were awesome, and A Hidden Treasure I highly recommend in downtown Farmington if you're in the area. The woman who runs it is just a sweetheart, super helpful and very knowledgeable about a lot of antiques and goods that are sold in stores like that. So shout out to Virginia, much love, and grateful to be friends with you now. I will be back to spend money, and so I'm gonna go ahead, fill up my little car and head down the road to my very last stop of the day, which is just a church thrift store a couple miles down the road from my house. I've been able to have some pretty good success there, and I know the ladies that run it fairly well. So it'll be my last trip of the day before I go back and start cleaning up some of these shoes and listing some goods to, again, make a profit, to pay my bills and support my children, because that's what really matters, is being on my purpose. So thanks for joining. These are things you see in New Mexico. Well, in Texas, Arizona, Utah, Colorado. So I'm at my last pick of the day. This is the Church of the Nazarene thrift store in Spencerville, New Mexico. I've had some good success picking here, like I said earlier, and the ladies are just sweet as could be. So even when I don't find anything, I always get a big hug and a hello. And that is a big part of why I like sourcing and reselling. Is not only is it fun to go out into the wild and hunt for treasure or hunt for junk to make somebody else's treasure, I really have enjoyed the community of people that I've made friends with in the last handful of months, if not years. And so gonna go ahead and circle around here and maybe find something good, and if not, no big deal, because I've had some good picks today, and I'm gonna take the good with the bad and always be grateful for what I do have, and that's a lot more than a lot of people. So let's go see what we can find. All right, so one of the things I like to do is always come to this thrift store and look through their shirt aisle. I found some pretty nice Western Wrangler shirts, brush poppers with pearl snaps. And not sure I'll be so lucky today, but gonna go ahead and flip through these shirts once again, see what I come up with. All right, so got excited, found me a Wrangler shirt, but unfortunately it's just a button up. It's not a brush popper, and it is too modern to be worth much. So gonna go ahead and just slide this guy back on the rack and stay positive for the next find. All right, so I'm a firm believer that the best teacher is actually your mistakes, and there's so much that can be learned from failure. So never forget to find the silver linings in all that you do wrong, because then you'll become better, and that's what life's about. All right, YouTube friends, just got back from a safari in the wild. Was able to source some goods from pretty much all thrift stores today. I did go out and do a little bit of retail arbitrage, but was unsuccessful in that regard. But wanted to go ahead and share my haul with you because I had some good picks today, some things to make some money off of. And so gonna go ahead and start with this Cabela's shooting shirt. This is an extra large Cabela's, part camouflage, part brown, green, drab. It is a good seller and has a good sell-through rate, and because it's extra large, there's just less variety of extra large clothing out there for big guys. So something I'm always looking for is large plus sizes or big and tall, because those type of garments sell. So I think I paid $4 and some change for this. I should be able to get hopefully around $30 as I resell it on eBay for profit. And so up next, I was able to get these Ultra running shoes. These are women's shoes, and they're a good size. They're gonna need cleaned up, but I only paid $5 for them. And Ultra, I've had success selling in the past. They're a high quality distance running shoe. And so I think after I clean these up, I'm gonna go ahead and probably list them for somewhere between $50 to $70 plus shipping. And so Ultra is easy to deal with. The only thing I don't like about shoes is cleaning them. So I'm very selective with what brands I buy for that reason. All right, next up, I scored this hoodie. It is a Green Bay Packers hoodie. So I want to give a shout out to a good dear friend of mine, Steve Meadows, who's all the way out in Ohio. Steve and his wife, Sandy, have been dear friends of mine for many years. And Steve is a Green Bay Packers fan. So this one's for you, big guy. Love ya, miss ya. I paid $6 for this hoodie. It's gonna need washed. Has a little bit of dog hair on it, but it is NFL apparel, which has a fairly decent sell-through rate. And again, it's an extra large for the big guys out there. So I shouldn't have any problem selling it. I'm hoping to get right around $30 for it. All right, so I told you my last hunt out in the wild was at the Church of the Nazarene thrift store very near my home. I didn't find a whole lot there today, but I was able to score a pair of RVCA skateboard jeans in a khaki color. And they have one little spot that I think I can probably pull out with some OxyClean and cold water. And I actually bought these for myself because they're very expensive jeans. They're one of my favorite brands, and they're only a few bucks. So can't beat that. I also scored this bamboo new wave cutting board for $1.50 from down at the Church of the Nazarene thrift store in Spencerville. So thanks, Diane, for always hooking me up, and thanks for that big hug and all the love and the jokes and laughter. A big reason I love reselling is, again, the friendships I've made, and a lot of us are a ragtag group of, I don't know what you'd call it, motley crew rejects, but we all have something we're after, and we all are very good about supporting each other in our hunt for treasures. So I'm grateful to Diane. She's been a super good friend, and this guy right here I'm hoping to make, I don't know, about $20, $25 off of. So not a bad find for $1.50, and it is new, still in the cellophane, and New Wave is a pretty known brand in kitchenware and kitchen appliances. All right, so this is actually one of my favorite picks of the day. These are Fire King vintage coffee mugs. They're in a root beer brown color. I'm not crazy about this color, and believe it or not, I've actually sold 2 of these mugs in the past. I was able to sell 2 of them for about $36. And so today I was able to pick up these 4 diamond Fire King mugs in the same exact color for $12 for a set of 4. So shout out to a hidden treasure and my new friend, Virginia, who runs a very beautiful thrift store. I was really impressed with the detail she had and the cleanliness of her store. A lot of thrift stores are pretty junky and not kept together real well. And this was almost like a high-end antique mall store. It was just really well kept, but the prices were great. They were thrift store prices with the quality of like an antique mall store or an antique mall booth. But Virginia, glad to get to know you, and I'll be back to spend some money with you. I'm hoping I should be able to probably make close to $50 to $60 off of these 4 mugs. And Fire King mugs is one of the most favorite things I come across in the wild that I love to find and resell. And so that leads me actually to the next couple coffee mugs, which are also Fire King. Now, this is a milk glass white Fire King mug, and it has a painted lemon on it. There's 3 of them all the way around. And so that mug by itself is probably only worth $9 to $12 alone. I'm gonna just keep it because I'm a sucker for Fire King products. But if you're lucky enough to come across a milk glass mug set like that, and you can find cups with multiple painted pictures of fruit, then you're gonna get into a real serious haul or a very good find. And I have actually priced some of those same glass mugs, milk glass mugs, with fruit, various fruits on them, for upwards of, I think, $320 for a full set of 6 to 8 of them. So be on the lookout for those Fire King mugs like that. Any Fire King milk glass mug with a print on it, a picture, a name is probably worth something, but these fruit mugs are actually pretty common. So they're out there. You just got to keep your eyes open and be looking for them. Now my last mug is also Fire King. I'm going to keep this just for my own personal collection. It's a little bit weird shaped. It's not as common. It is milk glass in color, as to where that actual mug does come in various different colors. It's not super collectible, and it's probably also only worth maybe $8 to $9, $12 at most. But again, I like the Fire King mugs, the durability. And again, it reminds me of my grandparents who used a lot of vintage Pyrex products and also Fire King. So yeah, that's a big part of what I was able to get at those 2 stores. And so also scored me some HP printer ink. Printer ink is always an easy sell. I paid $5 for this. I'm hoping to get maybe $20 for it, and I got this at Goodwill. And lastly, at one of the local thrift stores, I was able to source this Starbucks mug. Starbucks mugs are always a good seller for me. I seldomly ever keep them, but I am able to flip them for good money. And most of the time I buy Starbucks mugs for pocket change to a few dollars, and I'm often able to sell them for $20 to $30. It just takes a little bit of time to find the right buyer. But as with most reselling items, the sales are very long tail. So be patient and don't move your prices down too soon, or you'll be shorting yourself. The right buyer will come along. All right, so lastly, this is probably one of the better scores of the day. These are Anu women's winter boots. They have the Vibram sole, which is non-slip and very recognizable. But Anu is a very well-known brand. I don't know if it's real well-known where you live, but Anu is a very good quality brand. These boots here are gonna need cleaned up, but I only paid $10 for them. I was looking at the comps on them, and I'm thinking I'm probably gonna be able to get somewhere between $50 to $70, but gonna have to invest a little bit of elbow grease to get them cleaned up, which is not a big deal. Again, I'm not crazy about cleaning and selling shoes, but they sell, they're needed, and they're a product that is constantly in demand. And so most people out there don't want to pay $140 for a set of boots when they can find a pretty nice pre-owned set on eBay for, like I said, $50, $60, $70. So pretty good haul today. Grateful for what I found, especially because a lot of this was all sourced at thrift stores. And with thrift store picking, I often have to pay more than I do for garage sale prices. But as we move into winter here in northern New Mexico, there are less garage sales to go source goods from. So I'm gonna have to be working on a lot of thrift stores. And that's something that I'm kind of familiar with and used to already at this point, which does mean I'll have to spend a little bit more to source goods. But regardless, I'm still in it to make money and make a profit. So thanks for joining me today. I love to make YouTube videos about all kinds of random things. I love to share my life with you. And don't forget to stay positive, to be kind to the people you love, and to always be on your purpose. It'll make you feel good about life, and it'll keep you focused. So thanks for joining me, friends, until we join again.